We're just that podcast that you listen to while you're peeing. Everyone's favorite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm Rob and he's Kevin, by the way. Just in case.
It's a good way to do it.
Thursday.
Welcome to Any Given Thursday. I'm Kevin.
I'm Rob.
I don't know if he is. I don't know if I fully believe him or not.
I don't know what I'm sure of anymore.
He's only said it a couple times. So.
I don't... You fake duped me out that we've started this episode like 4 times.
Right. But which one's going to be in the final cut? It's all that matters.
All of them.
Hopefully. But anyways. Rob, I bring you here today.
Oh, God.
To discuss something that I think is...
When I heard and I bring you here today, and I was like, oh, God, are we getting married? Are you the officiator?
No.
I'm like, you can't do the officiating and be in the wedding.
You could.
Then I don't know who I'm marrying. Unless it's not us, and you're marrying objects in this room.
It has nothing to do with marriage.
Okay.
Marriage. No, I didn't know.
I actually have a friend who, at their wedding, had the officiator do that entire skit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Huh.
With the voice and everything. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Fair.
You know, if it was you, say so in the comments.
Yes. Nice call to action.
But, yeah.
No, that's cool. That's really cool. It's either that one or, like, I mean, all famous marriage scenes. You know, you could just, like, pick and choose. What if you mash them all together? And then, like, finish on the wedding singer where they don't get married.
Oh, I thought you were going to finish on the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones where they all die.
That worked, too. I'm down for that. This has nothing to do with weddings, though.
Okay.
Is the thing.
Okay. That's fine.
But what it does have to do with...
Sure.
is ethics.
Oh God.
Morals.
You sure that doesn't have to do with marriage?
It has to do with a lot of different things, right? I mean, I'm not going that broad,
oh,
you know.
Okay.
But really, what this has stemmed from is years and years and years ago. I mean, we're going back in time, as they say.
Bring back now, y'all.
Yep. One hop this time.
Everybody, clap your hands.
I was training to be a teacher, right?
Oh, okay.
We're going back.
To then.
We're going back.
Well, I wasn't sure which, you say that it could be like weeks, it could be months.
We're going years into the past.
Yeah.
We're going back to, I was still in school.
I'm guessing
2017. No, I was in my last, it was 16.
Okay.
It was.
Split difference.
Yes. Nope. 15.
Ha! Fuck yeah.
Because it was August. It was an August professional development opportunity that I went to. It was a 2-week-long program. No, 1 week. No, 2-week program.
I don't know.
I think it was a 2-week program.
Sure.
Nope, it was a 1-week program. They changed it, so it's been updated. Now it's a 2-week program. When I did it, it was a 1-week program. My memory is just killing it today.
Do you know what it's called?
It was called the Upstander Academy, or the Upstander Project. I think it was Upstander Academy was the name of it.
It is now.
And it was a professional development opportunity where we learned about human rights atrocities, how to teach human rights, and we looked a lot into like the genocide, the Rwandan genocide. We looked a lot into, and then we looked a lot into the Native American genocide. And like cultural genocide, like different aspects of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is this specifically for history teachers, or
yes, well, or his history,
studies?
English, social studies, yeah, right. Like, anyway, it wasn't cut off. No, we didn't.
That was a darker joke than I meant to be.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, what teacher wouldn't be going in math?
Yeah,
Unless
right.
they are, in which case, ooh.
Yeah, if 8% of the population
Oh,
controls
no,
the
no,
other
no, no.
92%, what is the rate of killing? No. Yeah, no, I don't.
Oh, and
We didn't have any math teachers.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of specific
Eugenics, yeah.
human rights, like class teachers, definitely a lot of general history, social studies. There were some English teachers. But yeah, there's been, at least from what I remember from years ago, there was a push in the state of Connecticut to have dedicated human rights classes.
Oh.
I don't know if that's still true, but I remember hearing about it years and years and years ago.
My first question was going to be, did college professors attend? Because there's probably a lot more human rights classes in terms of college. But then I remembered that college professors don't really give a fuck. So I would imagine that they didn't attend.
I disagree.
Well, like, I just feel like...
With the general statement that college teachers don't give a fuck.
I feel like they just, are a little bit more reformed. They have their beliefs. That's kind of what they're teaching it on. They're usually studying something along those lines, and so they integrate it with them. So they already kind of have an opinion on it, and you don't really need that kind of sensitivity to subjects when you're a college professor, like you do for, grade school.
Yeah, I mean, not for high schoolers.
High schoolers nowadays, are you kidding me?
No, they're fine.
The kids go back home and you'll get yelled at by parents.
It depends on where you teach.
That's true.
There's a lot of them where you don't get yelled at by parents. There's a lot of schools that you can teach at where you wish that the parents cared enough to yell at you,
I feel like you still got yelled at, just not in a meaningful way.
Not by teachers, not by parents, by other teachers, by administration, by students.
Oh, okay.
Not by parents.
Oh, okay.
I had one parent tell me I wasn't giving their son enough homework.
Huh.
Because I didn't give homework.
Yeah, okay.
So, but it wasn't like aggressive. It was hey, I want to make sure that he's learning things,
That seems like a positive thing.
Yeah, a great kid.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he was like one of the top of the class, seemed very motivated, like cared about learning beyond just the numbers.
From what I've heard, you had one.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry. There's no way that this wasn't going to at least happen a little.
No. It's fine. But anyways, so this professional development for social studies teachers and whoever that are learning about human rights and genocide, and we had a professor come in one day. Actually, a philosophy professor came in and did a session with us one of the mornings, which, I mean, the whole thing, super interesting. I learned a ton. I have tons of materials and my knowledge base. If I were to ever go back to teach, which I never will, but if it were to happen, I could probably teach a human rights class.
Could we asterisk
based on that alone?
Can we asterisk that with maybe college?
I don't think I would. We can asterisk that with college.
Yeah, I can't say that word. I don't think.
Yeah, nah, it's fine. Yeah, I can't either. I had to purposely slow down for it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But we had a philosophy professor come in, spoke with us for a bit, and one of the things that stuck with me was the idea of measuring virtues and vices on a scale.
Oh.
And how whenever you look at something, you can pick a quality, a personality trait, whatever it might be. There is a way to measure it in terms of whether it's a virtue, whether it's a vice, or I'm not phrasing this in the best way.
I'm sorry, did you say personality trait?
So, so if you think of, the 7 deadly sins, right?
Okay.
Pride is what I was thinking there, right? Which is I guess a personality characteristic in a sense. But, being boastful or proud is often seen as a vice in a lot of Western, quote unquote, bullshit, ethics, morality, whatever. Everyone has different belief systems.
Yeah, be humble.
The one that we grew up in was that pride was a vice and humility was a virtue, generally.
Sit down.
What?
Be humble.
Yeah. Sit your ass down. Yeah. Exactly. But what I thought was interesting about this particular talk was that we took each of these things and we broke the mold on it in terms of it's not a binary where one thing is just a vice, one thing is just a virtue. Instead, there's like sliding scales on it. So, question that I'm going to start with.
Sure.
Rob,
Oh, God.
do you believe that there is any of the traditional monotheistic sins or a generally agreed upon ethically immoral thing that is strictly a vice and there is no aspect of virtue to it? I know it's a lot.
Yeah, you just threw the topic. Like the idea of it is on. So hold on. Let's just for the sake of simplicity, I suppose. Let's list the 7 deadly sins real quick. All right.
Okay. Yep.
So we got. Is it bad that I sometimes have to think of the movie Seven to try and remember what they are?
No, that's fine.
Gluttony.
Yep.
Lust.
Yep.
Pride.
Yep.
Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the term usually?
Yeah, it works. Does the job.
Envy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get 2 more.
You're missing sloth.
Okay, got it. And
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I said envy. I said lust.
Yep. Think Full Metal Alchemist,
Greed.
There it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Did it.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either. But I figured that's just another way to think about it.
Yeah, that one's also a good one.
Yep.
Okay.
Of those 7.
Which one is purely a vice and not a virtue?
Yeah. Yes.
Like,
we'll start with that. Yes.
Closer to vice than virtue.
Yes. Yeah. Which ones lean more heavily negative, and maybe have a little bit of positive? Which ones, are because right the socially accepted answers that they're all negative, right? Like
Well,
they're sins, they're all vices, they're all negative. I'm not saying I agree with it either. I'm just saying that is the narrative that is, again, generally accepted or told to kids when they're growing up.
Sure.
At least. So.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, probably because I also think it's interesting, like, just when people try and personify them or put them on scales, like, ReZero is
okay.
an anime we both like.
Yep.
They have a lot of characters that embody a lot of those in different ways.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with a spin. And it's because they're not always quite so linear.
Right.
Like gluttony, okay, fine, but everybody's got to eat.
Yeah. Everyone's got to eat.
Being gluttonous is not, that one's tough.
Being gluttonous is not good. But in what sense? I mean,
right,
are you? Is your overeating depriving someone else from that opportunity to eat it?
Yeah, like, is it also literally eating, or is it you're gluttonous and that you're just hoarding things and depriving other people from them? Right.
Then you touch on greed.
Yeah, those are kind of, I guess, there's a little bit of overlap.
So that's a hard one to
Yeah.
distinguish between there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm not gonna go with lust as being the
As being what?
like the most vice one, but I get
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
It just seems that seems somewhat of more old fashioned
Yeah.
in a way than a lot of the others.
Yes. I think it is one of the 7 that has definitely fallen out of favor in terms of being a negative thing. Like, as we grow as a society, like, we become more open to sexuality generally, and who really gives a fuck a lot of the time, unless it's illegal.
Right. Well, like, see, I feel like if you put lust with one of the other ones, it gets worse.
Sure.
Like putting lust with wrath, probably not good.
That's real bad.
Seems not good.
Yep.
Same with putting lust with greed.
Yep.
Just, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
And it's still, lust in itself is still certainly a vice when it comes to sexual harassment, when it comes to like there's I mean addictions like sex addicts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Know?
I mean, you can literally be addicted to sex, I guess.
Yeah.
So that would seem, like the typical term of vice. There you go.
Yeah.
But I don't. Also,
is being prude a virtue then? Like on the opposite end of that scale,
see,
you know?
I feel like that one's more of it's a little bit more on the scale than some of the other ones.
That's fair.
My first thought might have been probably either pride or envy.
Okay. I don't agree with you with envy. Pride, I could see.
Envy's tough.
Because what the envy causes the individual to do
is probably the less good thing, depending on what they're envious of.
Yeah.
If it's a driving thing, a lot of the time people who are envious of those are they're usually more in a negative place themselves, right?
When you said a driving thing, I thought cars. Were we talking cars? So were we talking about cars?
No, Kev, motivation.
Right. I just wanted to. I just that's what my brain did.
Sure.
You said driving,
Yep.
and my brain was like, road rage. Like, what are you talking about?
No, that'd be wrath.
Yeah, not envy.
No. I feel like a lot of the time people who are envious are being motivated by because they're not in a great place personally.
Okay, gotcha. So that jealousy, that envy, stems from, or at least not seeing yourself in the best of situations.
Yeah, potentially. I guess that still might make it more of a vice than a virtue, though. I guess, maybe not in the sense that it's... Because vice doesn't imply inherently bad. It just implies... It does. Does it?
Vice implies...
okay.
Right, because it's... Vice implies inherently bad, and virtue implies inherently good.
Or a vice negatively affects
you. Yeah.
And I think that, in that sense, there's not a healthy version of envy.
Okay. So... Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't think that if you're ever... Most of the time, if you're envious, you're not in a good place because you're not looking at yourself in a positive manner. But also, it's not... It just doesn't seem like a healthy motivator.
I would generally agree. I think there are some...
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a...
I mean, you can always...
We'll get to this, but maybe it's a how much, right?
Right.
It's a how much.
Yeah, I mean, you can always, you want to be doing better, fine. But I guess
right, being motivated, having that desire to improve
is not a bad thing. But if it's coming from
not really envy.
I don't.
So.
That's the hard part. Is I don't know how it. if it's too general to say that motivation is envy, you know.
Yeah,
If they're separate things, then I think envy is not a good place to come from.
yeah, I would agree. Generally, I agree. I don't think envy is a great place to come from. Just always rains. Like the water's always cold when you try to go for a swim. Envy's a terrible island.
Island?
Yeah, to live on, envy.
Is this a plate?
No, I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not getting this reference, Kev.
no, it wasn't a reference. I just made it up. I just made it up. Yeah, just on the spot. Just
Yeah.
quick thinking.
World building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just real quick,
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Pride. It was the other half of that in terms of I think pride is on a similar level as lust in this instance, where it's having pride in like accomplishments or just in other people or like right like having pride, being proud is not in itself a negative.
I think being prideful is like embodying it.
Yes, or like
on,
boastful, or there's
turns on blinders, invokes other people's wrath.
Yeah,
and envy.
Yeah, but I would say pride in itself, not necessarily bad, definitely can be bad.
Right. So that's like, again, as a virtue, it doesn't, as a virtue vice, like, is it always going to hurt you? I don't know.
Right. I would lean no.
Yeah.
Generally lean no. So we did pride, we did lust, we did envy, we talked about gluttony a little bit, greed. Saving your money is not a bad thing. Having a rainy day fund, putting something away as an emergency, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Wanting to take from others is,
not the best.
Wanting to have more than others.
Not the best.
I was just going to say, as a newly turned socialist, I feel like that would not be your ideal.
What do you mean? Listen, it's I don't think there's still going to be wealthier and less wealthy people. It's just who owns the means of production. That's a whole different conversation, Rob. Like, I'm not trying to.
No, but I just I feel like greed is tough because I feel like greed, in the sense, is not typically about wanting to have things. It's about wanting to have more than one person should have.
Or, I agree. Or having and hoarding.
Okay.
Those that have keep, hoard, do not use their wealth to help others. Or push for legislation that only helps themselves.
Okay, all right.
The wealthy get wealthier.
Yeah.
Those capitalist
same
pigs.
Old stick. It's the same thing out of you every week. No,
it wasn't my intent when I started the phrase, but boy, did it wind up that way.
So I guess that's, as a vice, it's more likely to hurt others than yourself, except for the fact that it probably will alienate you to some degree. But as a virtue, like, again, does it help you to want to have things? I don't know.
That's envy.
Well, that's not have things that other people have. Well, kind of.
Well, I mean.
Well, they'll kind of, right?
Yeah.
There's some overlap here.
Yeah, keeping up with the Joneses,
Well, that seems like envy.
That does seem.
That seems like envy.
That seems like envy. But not greed.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I guess greed to me seems like coveting things and keeping them from others.
Coveting things sounds like envy to me.
What?
Yeah, like you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You know what I mean? Which is also lust and envy.
Well, yeah, that's why it's some, one of the
The big ones.
yeah.
I don't remember the
Commandments?
name. Yeah, commandments.
One who went to Sunday school, dude.
No, I didn't. I went to Wednesday night school, dude. Got him.
Seems way more reasonable.
I don't remember. It was something like that. But regardless.
Yeah, but that's. I don't even know if that means.
You know what's equally as important? I'm gonna give you a second.
Sure. No, I got.
Coveting your neighbor's ox is equally as important as coveting your neighbor's wife. Because when the commandments came out, they were both property.
Oof.
Not anymore.
That's good.
Not anymore.
It's a good thing.
Yep. It's a good thing they're not anymore.
I don't even. Yeah, no, it's.
But
yep.
But that's right. That's like 9 and 10, I think. They're the last two, and they're of equal importance.
I don't remember the 10 Commandments. I don't remember anything about oxen in the 10 Commandments.
It is.
I
promise you.
I'm gonna fact check you later.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're gonna get proven that I'm right. It's not how that phrase works, but yeah. I will be justified. That's not the way to phrase that. I don't know. I forgot how to talk, I guess.
All right. So we have sloth and we have wrath, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're missing here.
Yeah, wrath. I think it's obvious.
What do you mean?
I think it's full vice. I don't think there's virtue in wrath.
I feel like society is at a point where we are somewhat getting away from the need for wrath.
Okay.
But I think that at other points in time, wrath is not necessarily the worst, or could at least be needed.
I changed my mind entirely on what I just said.
Okay.
I don't think it's just a vice, actually. What you just said popped an idea into my mind.
Sure.
Right? Like violent resistance. Right?
There you go. Yep.
Right? Is justified. My opinion.
Right.
My opinion. Violent resistance is justified. Which is inherently wrathful in this quasi-definition that we're giving it.
Well, okay. Our good buddy Henry kind of puts things.
He likes the Roman Empire.
Well,
he likes a lot of things.
I know. He has this term that I've talked about with him a couple times, and it's more like violence against the non-violent is the issue.
Yes.
If what you're doing is against people who are being non-violent, then the violence is not justified. But if violence is against other violence, then it's more justified.
I think that's
I don't
too
remember
simplified.
I don't. He has a phrase for it, and potentially yes, but he's not here to defend himself, so fuck him. But yeah, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but it is something along those lines.
Fair. I generally agree. I think there are some areas. I think you have to distinguish more than just violence against nonviolence, right? Because I think,
or the non-violent,
or the non. Yes, right. I think it is justifiable to be violent towards nonviolent people. Well, no, because that's just a matter of perspective. Because what is like an oppressor group
are committing violence against you, and therefore violence against it is somewhat justified.
But the narrative is going to be spewed in such a way that they're a non-violent actor because they are the people in power, right? Because if you're the one in power and you have violence being done to you, you are non-violent. You are.
Well, that's more of a narrative and a perspective than maybe truth. But
Sure. But then we get into a conversation of what is truth.
All right. Well,
But
yeah, no, that's a whole other.
I was just trying to expand, to slightly complicate violence versus violence and violence versus nonviolence.
Yeah, maybe with the times here, given that a certain holiday is coming up, but I just thought of Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And to peacefully protest, against oppressors without violent means.
Malcolm X also existed and was also a key figure in the civil rights movement.
Well, yeah, no, I know that. I know that. I wasn't trying to, I was talking about the one whose holiday that we're approaching. No.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Not the one who didn't get a holiday.
Ooh, yeah, well, yep.
Okay.
I was just saying.
Yes, right.
That's I just meant.
I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. You're right. I just meant, preaching of nonviolence, even if you're having violence done to you.
Yeah. Fair. I think you need both.
Yeah, I got that point you made real quick.
To be successful. However you measure success in that scenario too, because, we're not still, but that's a whole nother.
I don't know why my first thought went to the French Revolution of all violence and no nonviolence, and it didn't last very long with the peace they achieved.
True. Until Napoleon comes back.
No.
And he was in charge for a good while. He did some great things, conquered tons of Europe.
Yeah, mostly just violence.
Yeah, he did violence, yeah. But he didn't have violence done to him because...
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, he got ousted. But for a while there, he was the one doing the violence.
That sure is true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so
wrath. So wrath.
So wrath.
Anger, violence. Yeah.
I don't know if violence and wrath are the same thing now that I think about it.
Now that we've done this tirade?
Yeah, now that we've done this tirade, because wrath is kind of more about anger, right? Like you're not really wrathful if you beat the shit out of somebody and you're dead calm. You're probably a sociopath, but is that wrath or is that...
No, I would say that stems from wrath. I would say generally violence stems from wrath. Or envy, or greed, or lust. Oh, shit. All right, never mind. Violence...
I don't know if violence
could stem from any of the things that we've been talking about.
Is inherently
but,
wrath. I think that wrath is anger.
Yeah.
Right?
Road rage.
Yeah, road rage is just wrath. But, you're not doing it very well, and you're just sad in your car, and you want them to think you're angry, but they don't even know you exist. So...
You're not doing it well? There's some people that do it pretty well.
What is doing road rage well?
Well, doing road rage well for one person usually means the other person does not end up in the best of conditions or alive. But succeeding at road rage...
I don't think that's succeeding at road rage.
Well, why not?
I just don't think there's succeeding at road rage.
I
just don't think there is.
I get real mad. You cut me off. I lay on the horn. I flip you the bird. I pull out my gun. I shoot you.
Okay, so
I win at road rage.
No,
okay, I win at wrath.
You know what? Hold on. That is where it flips from virtue to vice. No. Hear me out.
Okay. All right.
Being angry is something that people do. You can't not. You're gonna be angry. If you're not angry ever, probably an issue. So the ability to vent is important. That is, to some degree, venting is expressing your wrath in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems virtuous. But as soon as you start expressing your wrath in an unhealthy way, that is angrily beating or shooting people...
Who said that?
Then I think we've gone to vice.
That's a fair point. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one, actually. Yeah, you need an outlet for anger, a positive,
Yeah,
healthy outlet for anger.
you need to be able to feel feelings because everybody gets angry unless you're probably a sociopath. And if you don't think that you're getting angry, it's probably because you're not letting yourself feel emotions, which is not healthy.
What Rob said. Same goes for me double. I agree with him.
It's when you kind of carry that over into physical action that it's probably not good.
Probably. Can't confirm or deny. Probably not good.
Probably not good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to lump it all, generalize it too
Yeah,
much, I mean,
just,
some people deserve to die, You got to cut me off on the highway. No.
Boston changes a man.
Yeah, you can say that again.
All right.
And then sloth. Vice.
Okay. Well,
Heavily vice, little virtue.
What is sloth? Just being lazy?
Yeah, to the point where you don't do anything in life. You become like content with everything, and then like you do nothing.
Oh, so what? The depressed are choosing to be depressed, Kev? Is that what you're saying?
Nope. That's not what I'm saying. The depressed should get help and talk to people, is what I'm saying. But yeah, sloth is 100% of vice, because if it is preventing you from living your life to its fullest, it's 100% a negative.
Okay, but isn't that also just going full tilt on one side of the spectrum? If you look at people who do not relax,
Oh, sure.
then they are not doing. Again, that's what is it? The light that burns brightest burns the shortest, something like that. That's not the phrase.
It's close.
There's a phrase similar to what I just said.
Yeah. His light burned out too fast or something.
Something.
Or
those who
burn brightest burn. Those who burn brightest.
Yeah.
Something. Yep.
I don't know the saying. However,
I don't remember it either.
My point is that without some ability to slow down and relax or be, again, managing stress.
Yeah.
Except for instead of managing anger, it's just managing the constant desire to be doing something, like literally needing to do nothing sometimes.
Yeah. Or that's where the little virtue comes in. Most vice, little virtue.
I don't know. I guess.
I think generally, speaking from a purely personal perspective, as a pretty lazy person, it is more impacting me more negatively than positively.
Okay. All right.
Strictly personal.
I don't know.
I think it leans more heavily in the vice, based on my experiences.
Again, I think it's another one that needs to be balanced a bit. To be, I don't think that it's. You weren't even saying any 80-20. In my mind, you were saying 80-20, but you were saying like 98-2.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's quite it. I think it's probably like I don't know about 50-50. I might be okay with 60-40.
60 vice, 40 virtue. More so a vice than a virtue still?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, even again, I come back to if it's preventing you from doing something, right? Or I also think of like, in one way, contentedness kind of ties into it too, which is a whole nother thing, because that's a conversation of like happiness, contentedness, which we're not doing today.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you are too content, like what just came to mind is like a job, right? Or like, say there's an opportunity for a promotion, right? But you are content with where you're at, and you're, I guess, too slothful in this case to actually put in the effort to like go for that promotion or for that new opportunity, just because of either being happy with where you are, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you're happy where you are, fine. But I still think there needs to be like a strive or a desire to improve.
I feel like, I mean, that's
as long as it's not being completely washed out or like.
I feel like being overly content leads to sloth less than fear.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Give me a little more to that. I like where we're starting.
Well, like more a fear to, okay, it's easier to do nothing than to try something that's risky. So you mentioned the promotion.
Yep.
Whereas is it that you're too content, or is it that you're comfortable now and a fear of doing better and losing that is actually the driver, more than your feeling of contentness, more of your feeling of not being content?
Regardless of the motivator, is it still slothful then to not go for it?
I think
whether it's the fear or it's the contentedness.
I think it depends on how much it's affecting you, I guess, and your perspective of it.
Fair.
If you're truly content and that's why you're not doing it, then that is what it is. But if it's that you're actually just afraid of doing things, and so you do nothing, then then that seems like it's just mostly fear.
Yeah.
Not saying that sloth is inherently fear, but it's
No. Fear is another one of those ones that could easily like be a motivator for any of the other sins as well.
Yeah.
Right. Like fear and greed. I think there's a lot of right.
Fear of not having, so you overcompensate.
Right. Right. Or fear of losing, so you're overprotective of what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Same sort of thing. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just thought of fear as a motivation for lust, and that's a little sad.
Yeah, that's kind of screwed up.
Overcompensating with sexuality because you are not content with yourself.
Yep.
Definitely happens.
Yep. That's.
Did we land on envy being the most vice? Because it appears to hurt you the most with little benefit?
Little benefit. I guess. It feels weird.
It does feel weird. I don't know if I love it.
Because I would think...
I lust it. No,
Yikes. Because I still think greed's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I still think gluttony's pretty bad. I'm a very gluttonous individual.
I was going to say in moderation.
That's the opposite. In the purely, like, overeating sense. So, like, oh, goddamn.
Yeah, but...
I just love to eat.
But, like, in waves. It's like a binge and fast sort of situation. Without labels here. But, like...
yeah, and... Yeah, let's not do that.
That's not what I meant.
That starts to...
I don't even think that's it,
No, it's not.
I just meant, like, it's not like it's just constantly eating. It's like, I'm going to have a big meal now.
Yes. And I am going to... Yes, I am going to have a big meal. I'm going to enjoy the shit out of eating this big meal. It is going to cause immense joy. And maybe it's a little bit of the... because it's a vibe. Yeah, like, yeah.
This meat is making me feel a certain way right now.
It's a different kind of meat sweats, you know? But thank you. You know, I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, like I think because it's a little bit of like because it's bad, because I shouldn't be eating this much. That's what makes it even better.
But you can acknowledge it, which means you aren't doing it that often.
True.
The issue is when you can no longer think that it's a bad thing.
Oh no!
Then it's just part of life, and you're like, yeah, okay. Now you're a glutton.
Yeah, that's fair. But Rob,
yeah.
So I played one of my old wily tricks.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah, I did the thing that I normally do.
Oh, you fox you.
Where I, some might say coyote, but wily.
Am I the roadrunner?
Or are you the count?
Me? Oh yeah, I did just do the last one.
Yeah. Where I presented you with a false premise because the information that I received from that professional development session was not actually rating Seven Sins on a virtue vice scale.
I had a feeling.
It was, but it was different.
Yeah.
It was presented in such a way that the main takeaway is that anything, whatever, any of the premises, any of the characteristics are always a vice in excess or in incest? What's the opposite of excess?
Not that.
I didn't say incest. I said incest.
What's the opposite of excess? Incest.
That's not what I said.
That's the one with a lot of people, just my cousin.
Fuck. Jesus. Not what I said. Regardless, the main point is that the vices exist on the extremes, and that you really just want to be in the middle.
Okay, I feel like we did okay there.
With anything.
With our discussions, mostly.
Yeah, I know. I think the way that we phrased it with, leaning more heavily one way or another, we were really just toying with that same idea of anything when you don't have enough of it, or if you have too much of it, is going to be negative. But if you're like right in the middle, you have the right amount of any of these things, generally you're going to be in a pretty good shape.
I still can't think of the grammatical opposite to excess.
That's why I thought it was incest.
It's not incest, Cal.
I didn't put a T on the end. You keep putting that T there that I didn't.
It's gonna bother me.
Exoskeleton.
Skeleton.
Endoskeleton. Incest. Maybe.
Incest?
E-N-C-E-S-S? That doesn't sound correct either.
That doesn't sound right. I don't think it's one of those that the word changes. I think it's just a different thing.
Excessive.
Excessive?
Incest. Oh, excessive.
Satiated?
That works. I don't think it's it, but that works. No, that doesn't work. Because yeah.
Satiated?
No, if you're satiated, you're content. You're like in the middle. You're not lacking.
Yeah. So you're not having more than, which is excess. That's being beyond satiated.
Yeah. But what if you don't have enough?
I think I'm just spouting shit here. I think that these are completely different words.
Right. That's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
Because not having but where this comes from, right?
Yeah.
And I still think there are some that it does not play nicely with. I think lust, for instance, is one of those ones that it still is weird, and it doesn't really fall nicely on this scale. Because
Which scale?
The it's good if you're in the middle.
Okay.
It's bad if you're on the extremes. Because from a purely utilitarian perspective, right? Not having it is a negative.
Well, yeah.
In terms of just continuing society.
Yeah. Reproducing is important.
Right. But
I don't know how many different dystopian novels there are where they try and count like ixnay, lust, and then people fucking lose their shit.
yeah,
Yeah, that happens. I don't know why. It's a common theme now. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. But we're also at a point where, like, just on the Earth, where we have billions of people,
Mm.
and it's like there's lots of places where population
You're trying to enact
are
one
going
child
down
policy, Kev?
and tons are growing. That's not on me to do. It's not my job, because it should happen naturally. No, just as the percentage of educated people in a country increases, the birth rate decreases. So it's a correlated figures. You can find it anywhere. As the percentage of individuals with college degrees increases, the birth rate drops.
That's because they learn how to have sex without having kids.
Yes. So there's a big argument that is actually a part of it. So, but there's another point I was getting at. There are asexual people that exist.
Yeah.
Right? That are just not interested.
Yeah, sure.
And I don't think that's a vice. Right? Like it's just who you are. Right? Like I don't think it's inherently negative to have a lack of lust. In like if it's just you're not interested. You know.
Yeah.
Whatever, do your own thing. Who cares? Is generally where I come at it from, right? And it can definitely still be bad in excess when it again leads to addiction or any other of the other means, or when it leads to taking negative acts or doing deplorable things.
Acts.
Yeah.
Oh no, acts.
Not the positive acts.
Yeah.
The negative acts.
The negative acts.
Yeah. The nether acts, some might say. The upside down acts. But so yeah, I think that's a weird one.
Yeah.
But there's a lot I think pride fits very well on this scale.
Yeah, if you don't think anything of yourself, then that's hurting you.
Right. Like low self-esteem, not enough pride, certainly a negative. Right?
I mean, yeah. I know.
Same thing. Too much pride, negative hurting you. So I think that is kind of the poster child almost. The first one that comes to me at least is the one that fits very well in this model.
Right. And I think we kind of, I don't know if what the model, what you learned, used what we talked about wrath, because we might have tried to manipulate wrath a little bit in terms of how it should or shouldn't function, but that just seemed what made sense. Yeah,
no, I think when we were talking about wrath, we were pretty spot on. Like you need to be able to express anger in a healthy way, right? Not being able to do so is certainly hurting you, right? Yeah, but too much is
hurting others.
Hurting others, yeah.
Or still potentially yourself.
Yeah, yep.
Hopefully, also not with lust.
Yep. Yeah, just combinations in general.
Yeah, just do all of them together at once.
Or not. Or not. Yep.
I feel like some of them are a little hard to do, but happens.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
I'm going to very angrily do nothing until I'm turned on.
That's 100% a thing. Yeah. Yeah. There's Rob.
Probably.
I don't know how to tell you this, but that's got to exist somewhere. Like, see the aforementioned billions of humans that exist. That 100% is a thing.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
You know. But then I don't know. There's some that I'm not sure where they fall.
Is that a cup?
That they're gonna maybe. I guess it depends on how they react. I don't know. I've never watched someone have sex before, so I don't know. I don't get
Probably
it.
Listen to it though.
That's not by my choice.
I feel like that's one of those odd things.
What? What? one of those odd
those
things.
of you who couldn't see his facial expressions when he said that.
What do you mean? It wasn't by choice.
I was going to say one of those odd things that kind of comes with going to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just having roommates in general.
Yeah.
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 It happens.
Well, then... And
sometimes you walk in on them.
Sometimes you walk in on them.
Sometimes you just hear them.
Yeah.
Right. It happens.
It doesn't mean you're enjoying it.
No, that'd be weird, or not. I mean, I'm not going to kink shame.
Also, you lied.
About what?
You said you've never watched other people have sex.
Oh, okay. You're right. Not including porn. Right?
I've also seen porn. So.
Yeah, right, yeah. The one that, yeah. But that's just so natural that it's not,
What?
Like, everyone watches porn, Rob. That's just a normal thing,
Or at the very least, everybody's probably seen some.
Yeah, it's normal. Like,
at least at a certain... I feel like that's as you get older, the chances that everybody has seen it has grown.
I hope so. I hope it's not when you're younger.
Well, we get blanket statements saying everybody's seen porn.
Okay, you're right. Everyone... I'll give it super easy, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'll do the legal answer. Everyone over the age of 18 has seen porn.
Yeah, right. As soon as you hit 19, you're just showing some porn, and that's just part of your 19th birthday.
Yep. You turn 18, you finally don't have to lie to the websites anymore. Not that you were before, because that would be illegal.
Yeah, no, it's illegal.
Right, but, wink. But I mean, even before the internet, like it's normal. It's a normal thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not think about that example. It was a good pull.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got me good. But yeah, there's as I said, others I'm not sure where they fall. It's kind of a weird little thing. I think it works. The model itself works well for some, like Pride. Not great for lust. Gluttony is I don't know.
It's a little...
Wrath is... It works kind of well for Wrath. We talked about
okay
that.
with Wrath.
But,
Sloth, I think we landed still at a little bit of a weird... Maybe.
Yeah.
I think I made it work, but...
Yeah. I think your point when we talked about Sloth was very much so along with the model of you need to be able to rest, but you need to be able to
do
motivate yourself to work as well and do
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. So, happy mediums.
Yeah.
It's really all. It's happy mediums.
Live in moderation, bitches.
Yeah. But not too much moderation. Because that's bad.
Is too much moderation bad?
Yeah.
You're just right down the middle for all of them?
Well, too much moderation, you wouldn't be down the middle anymore.
Why?
If you're in moderation, you're here. If you keep on moderating, you're decreasing and you're getting down to the low.
I don't think I understand how that works.
So,
Position moderate. If you're moderate, you're in the middle.
right.
Okay.
The more, well, if you're moderate, you're on the right. But that's a different conversation.
God damn it.
But the more you...
Fucking you did it again!
You can't be too... I think of, the verb, moderate. But in a...
The verb, but not the verb.
Yeah, the verb pipe.
Yeah.
Their hit song, Moderate.
We were only freshmen.
Yeah. Which I think that's how the word works. If you do something in moderation, but then if you did the moderation in moderation, it would consistently get smaller and smaller, and then you would lean into the lack thereof vice.
I don't know. I kind of get what you mean, but I don't know if I agree.
Okay.
But I don't know how to disagree.
Okay.
I want to. I do. I feel like somebody who's good at stats could. I never took a stats class, so...
That's fair. Me either. So...
That kind of surprises me, actually.
Yeah, I should have, but it was recommended, not required.
I probably should have, but I thought I was going to be an engineer, which for some reason that track doesn't make you take stats.
Yeah. Yeah. Law doesn't. Teaching wants you to.
Law doesn't take stats?
It wasn't on their recommended list for, my quote unquote pre-law track. No, it's not a track, but it's a.
Maybe that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, but teaching.
You're making
yes.
statistics. You're not looking at statistics.
I'd say you're still looking, but anyway.
Well, yeah.
Weird little thing.
How often does this work? I'm going to go with this approach to do this. What is least likely to get me sued is something that is kind of thought of frequently in my profession, actually.
Least likely to get... Yeah, okay.
What is least likely to get appealed? That's what we're doing.
Fair. Fair enough.
Sometimes.
If it fits, it chips. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting premise that I just wanted to present you with.
As someone who is very not religious, I find the 7 deadly sins interesting.
Yeah. As someone who is no longer religious, they're pretty interesting. But you know what's more interesting that we kind of touched on?
What?
The 10 Commandments. Next time, no. Maybe we don't fucking know.
I don't know. The 7 deadly sins, is that strictly the 10 Commandments?
That's Christian.
That's Christian.
Well, it's Jewish and Christian.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Old Testament.
Yeah, it's Jewish and Christian and Muslim.
I would think, right?
It's all of the
primary 3
monotheistic.
I was gonna say
I was gonna say that, and then it's like
that's why I figured to say primary 3. There's probably other ones I can't think
of. The 3 most popular monotheistic religions.
Yeah, primary isn't quite the right word.
Yeah, we'll phrase it that way.
Yeah, I like that phrasing better.
Yeah. Flying Spaghetti Monster does not have enough yet to really break the top 3, but maybe someday.
Wait a minute. So hold on though. But so 7 deadly sins, is that Christian? Is that also 10 Commandments, or is that just popularized by media and isn't actually one of them?
So I think that was originally a Catholic Church creation.
That sounds plausible.
I think.
Okay.
I think it was pre-Reformation, so I think it's Christian. I don't think. I think it was post Islam, pre-Christian Reformation, Catholic Church creation.
Sure.
But at the same time...
Don't know my religious history like that.
At the same time, right? Based on the tenets of the religions themselves, right? I'm sure they're all negative in excess.
Yeah, probably. I feel like just in general, most of them, besides probably the fucking Greeks, I don't think they gave a shit about that sort of thing. Ancient Greeks. What is it? Hellenism?
I think they would. There's a couple of them they would care about. They didn't care about lust, but
I was gonna say that was the one that was in my mind first. I was like, I don't think they gave a shit about lust.
I'm glad there's a lot of feasts. There's a lot of
there's a whole Dionysus, right?
Yeah,
Just didn't give a shit about gluttony.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't know if really pride was much of an issue either.
Back in the good old days, do you know what I mean?
Wrath wasn't an issue. That's entirely how Spartans got along.
Until at least the murder.
Well, yeah.
The Greeks still didn't like murder.
Yeah, okay.
So, there's that.
Yeah, all right.
But
Greeks anti-7 deadly sins.
Yep. Just anti one of them, at least. Anti one deadly sin.
Oh, no, I meant the concept.
What?
They were fine with that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
just why I-
Gotcha. 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 Gotcha.
Yeah.
My brain doesn't do it. Anyways. Yeah. So we did it.
We did it?
I guess.
Oh,
We
sweet.
we kind of, you know, I thought we had a pretty cool conversation.
I liked our conversation. Roast us in the comments, bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me what your favorite sin is.
Yeah. Or, you sure we want to go with that?
Nope. That's why I said it. Because I'm never sure.
Can you even comment on podcasts?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
We love you.
He does.